Now back to Making a Difference, only here on V81 Radio, South Manila.
All right, and now we're back. Okay, hold on. I just got something. Oh, okay. No, this is literally a special delivery just now. Look, it's sprinkles, you guys. Anyways, I just want to say thanks to my best friend Trish Penson and Tita Tracy and the whole Penson family. Thank you so much. I'm looking for sponsors. Joke lang. Okay. All right. So for our next guest, we have Justine Narciso. She is a freelance performer, theater actress. Hello, Justine.
Hi, Erica. Thank you so much for having me here on V81 Radio.
Thank you also for, of course, accepting my invitation to be on the show. Super excited to talk to you, actually, because
Yeah?
being in the art scene, that's something
Oh,
different.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell us something about yourself. I mean, where you graduated and how you got to your to what you're doing today.
Okay, sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Justine Narciso, and I am a musical theater performer. The project that I was last involved in was actually Tabing Ilog the Musical with ABS-CBN. So, unfortunately, due to the ECQ, we had to kind of move our show dates. We only had our opening weekend before we could really show everyone what the show was going to be about. But yeah, I've been in theater for about 2 years already. 2 years, so not that long. And I actually consider myself to be very lucky because once you start out in the theater industry, it involves a lot of rejections because you really have to keep trying and trying. But that's the thing, you start with trying. Every audition that you do is a step towards that dream for people who want to be a part of this industry. And it's an amazing industry, sometimes small, but I'm grateful to be a part of it. I especially want to shout out to Repertory Philippines because Rep was one of the Rep was the first company that I worked for professionally for theater. So thank you, Repertory Philippines, for having me as your Rapunzel for Rapunzel, a very hairy fairy tale, and as well as Maria Blanca for the quest for the Adarna. So both shows were actually at Greenbelt. I'm not sure if people were able to watch, but we had like 5-month run for it. 5 months in the theater. It's crazy. Yeah, but of course, I just want to also shout out to the roots of my theater journey, which is to Ateneo Blue Repertory. So I graduated from Ateneo in 2017. I'll be honest. And it was great. I started in my third year, so junior year, doing theater, and I was kind of thrown into it. I didn't really expect that I could make a living out of it. I always considered it to be something like on the side or a hobby. So I'm very, very proud to say that I am a full-time theater performer.
Wow, that's really great. You mentioned you were with Repertory Philippines, right? How
Yeah.
long have you worked with them?
So I started with Rep in 2018. So pretty much my entire journey in theater has been with Repertory. I've done 4 productions with Rep and then a few sideline projects with them. So with Rep, I was first cast as Rapunzel for a very hairy fairy tale. And then I was also cast in the next, not a musical, but it was actually a stage play. So no singing, no dancing. It was very different for me to do a straight play like that. But I really enjoyed it, and I got to work with theater veterans, Audie Hemora, Jaime Del Mundo, so many people, and of course Sir Teroy de Guzman. So I really, really was in awe, and I learned so much from them. And after that, I went to Quest for the Adarna, which was also a musical. So back to my roots. I really love singing and dancing. So doing just acting was difficult, but I felt like I learned a lot. And finally, I did and closed Stage Kiss. And I just want to say that I'm very, very lucky to have closed Stage Kiss because it was right before the quarantine started.
Okay.
Yeah, so the minute we ended Stage Kiss, that's when they announced the whole COVID crisis and thoughts about going into lockdown. So it was a very scary time.
Yeah. You mentioned a while ago, I'm just really curious. Huh? You mentioned a while ago that you were going to release Tabing Ilog. Am I correct? Is that the
Yes,
yeah.
actually, I was doing Tabing Ilog the same time Stage Kiss was being shown. So I was
Okay.
juggling the performances and the rehearsals. So going to Makati and the north back and forth, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But Tabing Ilog had just had their opening weekend. I did one show, one performance that opening weekend, and then we were in the midst of the after the show. We have like a post group talk about how it went, what we can do next time, and they made the announcement that there was going to be a quarantine. So back then, we didn't even have an idea that it would be this long, 2 months. We were thinking, oh, maybe it'll be like this for a couple of weeks, and then during these weeks we can just plan out different ideas we have in mind for Tabing Ilog. But no, end of the day, it's been 2 months already. Almost 76 days, I think. 76 days in
Mhm.
quarantine.
Yeah. So before the whole quarantine, what was your life like being a theater actress, being a performer? Maybe you could give us like a day-to-day schedule or like a play-by-play on
Yeah,
what your life was like. Because I'm also
sure.
curious.
Well, actually, when, for example, with musical theater, children's theater happens for 5 months, but we rehearse for 2 months before that. So from July to August, that's our rehearsal period for children's theater. For Adarna, it was especially long because it was an original Filipino musical for repertory, one of the very first. So very, very proud to be a part of that. And it had original songs. It was an original script by Ronnie Fortich and Tita Luna. So what happened was every Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. That was our schedule. Then breaks on Saturdays and Sundays. So effectively, I was a morning person because
Okay.
you had to be there as early as 10 a.m. to make sure you're not late. Because if you're late, you won't get paid. Like, we're very, very strict about being on time in theater. Very ethical about it. And once performances start, we can have as much as 4 performances in a single day. So,
Wow.
yeah, and I actually want to shout out as well to my alternates for Maria Blanca. So that's Cara Barredo and Alex Reyes and Jillian Itaas, because without them, I don't think I would have survived Adarna, because you really have to juggle these alternates. So a show like children's theater that happens 4 times a day. So you have like a 10 a.m. show, a 1 p.m. show, a 3 p.m. show, and then a 7 p.m. show. Like, you can't do all 4 shows, especially when they're demanding of physical movement, dancing, singing at the same time. So totally insane. And children's theater, we're lucky to have alternates in it. So we can juggle the schedules.
That's crazy. 4 shows a day. I mean, like, I can't really imagine doing that. Oh, just side cuento. I grew up dancing ballet.
Oh my
So
goodness!
I'm used to performing as well, but I don't remember dancing. Well, I mean, because I wasn't in Ballet Philippines or whatever, but I
Yeah.
can't imagine how. Okay, actually, how do you stay in shape? Like, how do you make sure that you're healthy? Because 4 times a day and then just like every day. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do? I mean, look, you look so good. Can I just say you look so good? So
No, and not just that, but if you have like a 10 a.m. show, your call time is always 2 hours before. So you have to be in the theater by 8 a.m. And I live in QC, and Greenbelt is in Makati. So plus the traffic, you can only imagine how long it takes for me to get to work. But it's really it's the passion that you have for it that makes you wake up every morning. You're like, okay, I'm gonna perform today. I'm gonna tell this story today. I'm gonna make children happy today. They're gonna learn a lot about Ibong Adarna or any other show that we present really on the stage, because it's a medium for that. it's a learning lesson for all of these kids to witness this and experience it live. That's the best part about theater, that it's live. Just like this live stream or this radio station, everything's live. Everything's a performance. So, sorry, what was your question again?
Okay. I know I got so into the conversation too, but no, my question was, I just want to know, like, how do you stay in shape given that
Right.
you have
Yeah.
all these
Oh, God.
rehearsals and all these shows every
I
day?
just had flashbacks to like all the, because I lost my voice October doing Adarna. It was really tough. And you usually have to give your shows to your alternates if you want to rest, and I really had to rest. But to take care of yourself, you drink so much vitamin C. Baroka was my best friend. Every morning, Baroka. I take my regular vitamins as well. Drink lots of water. Every time that we're done performing on stage, every second we get backstage, it's straight to the water. Exactly like what you're doing right now. So we have to drink lots of water, and also stay in shape. So aside from the grueling task of performing on stage and singing and dancing at the same time, you also have to take some time out of your day when you don't have shows to continuously work out and keep staying fit, just to keep moving. The minute you lose that agency or that passion to stay fit, oh, the harder it'll be to climb back up to when you could sing and dance at the same time. So
Yeah, I'm sure. What made you decide to pursue being a theater actress or a performer?
I'm actually not sure if I was made to. I was very lucky. Like it happened as a chance. I have been exposed to theater before. I took some workshops. I used to sing a lot when I was a kid growing up. But I think what really happened was Blue Rep. So Ateneo Blue Rep, and I stumbled upon their, those org rec weeks in college when they're all screaming at you to come join their organization. And I was actually doing a radio show in Ateneo before, Magis Radio. Yeah.
Wow.
And I interviewed a Blue Rep performance. I think they were doing breakups and breakdowns. So it was breakups and breakdowns. And after that, there was a one of the performers, Alex Masupol, so AM. He approached me and said, "Hey, maybe you should join Blue Rep too." And he'd be the person at the table calling at me and saying, "Justine, it's you, come over here, come on, join." And I was like, ah, and I got pressured. So it was peer pressure that got me to do theater. So I was like, oh no. So I signed up for an audition. I had no idea what I was signing up for. And then that was that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a cute story. Okay. So a while ago, we talked about. Okay, sorry. Okay, there. My screen. All right. So we talked about your life before the lockdown. Okay, so you were going from QC to Makati, 4 performances a day. How about now? What is your life like? Maybe you could, compare from before.
Yeah, because the thing is, when I wasn't doing shows, I also had weekend sideline stuff. So that's the thing about being a freelancer. Any work that you can get is a blessing and also very much appreciated. But at the end of the day, you're always waiting for the next thing. And now that we're here and stuck in quarantine, I feel like I'm not waiting for anything. If anything, I'm just waiting for it to be over because I miss the stage. I miss being able to perform again. But even once ECQ is over, there's no guarantee of that because people are going to be afraid to go to theaters. They're going to be afraid to be in contact with anything or anyone that they don't know. So all the more watching things live, concerts, going to the mall, even something as simple as that, it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be as simple. There's a new normal for sure. And during this quarantine, I mentioned a while ago how theater people have to stay fit, right? It's tough. I can't go to the gym, so I try to work out here at home, but there's nothing really motivating me here at home either because Uh, I'm stuck in the same place every day for 24 hours, and the only thing that really changes, and I'm very lucky to say this, but right before the quarantine began, I was seeing ads all over EDSA about this thing called Kumu. It's a live streaming thing, and I decided to join it and see what would happen there. And surprisingly, it's become one of my amazing sources of income right now, and I'm grateful to Kumu. It's a great live streaming app, and I invited some of my followers to come watch. I hope they're here too, watching, making a difference. So,
Kumu. I'm also on Kumu.
oh my gosh, we should have a stream together on Kumu.
We should. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been so blessed to have Kumu. So that's one way that I've been earning. Another is I like to draw, so I also take commissions every now and then to draw stuff. But it's the most that we can do now that we're only stuck in one place with limited resources. And I'm one of the luckier people because there are some people who are involved in theater that aren't always in the spotlight, that don't have that following, or that much support. Like especially our stage managers or our lights team, tech team. They're having the costume designers. What are they doing now, right? There's not much that they can do because there's no work being provided for them for the theater. So actually, I want to give a shout out as well to Open House Fundraiser. So Repertory was part of Open House Fundraiser. We did a quarantine tea party for our little princesses all around the Philippines, where they could just join us, dress up for tea, and it was a part of a way to raise funds for those who have been displaced during this quarantine. So it's been a great experience being involved in something like that. And I also want to say thank you to you for allowing me to have a voice to make a difference as well here on V81 Radio.
Of course. I mean, yeah, that's why I have this show to begin with. It's really for the people, especially the youth, to listen to you guys, to listen to your voices, and hopefully, they get inspired, or I mean, our voices, they really make a difference. No matter how old we are, how young we are, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a while ago about this being the new normal. What is the new normal for theater actors and actresses? I've seen a couple of like online shows a bit. I mean, okay, I watched when they released Ang Huling El Bimbo for like
Yeah.
2 days. Yeah, I watched that, and I've never it's sad because I've never seen it live. That was the first time I've seen it.
Mhm.
But people are trying to. That's what Nate said a while ago. People are trying to adapt.
Yeah.
So how are you guys adapting to what's happening now?
Well, so part of what the Open House Fundraiser has done, as you probably noticed, live streaming is a perfect platform for theater people because everything is also live and happening in the moment. So it's like you're my scene partner right now. I'm improvising on what you're giving me. The energy, the questions, whatever you give me, I'm giving it back. And the thing is, when you're in theater and you're performing, that's what the audience helps us with. That synergy, that energy between the performer and the audience. And it's been rough because when you're part of a live stream and maybe it's just you and you don't really have anyone to talk to, you're just talking to a camera, recording yourself or anything. It becomes hard to reach out to someone there because you're not actually sure if anyone's really there watching or listening to you. But what's important is being able to speak and say something about it. And Open House Fundraiser has been using this avenue of live streaming as a platform to have theater people get their voices heard. So a lot of very famous and talented performers have been on various Open House Fundraiser streams where they just do different performances live because that's what we do. Everything is live and in the moment. So even the mistakes are part of the live stream, like that's something that I miss about theater because if you watch a show at 3 p.m., if you watch the matinee, it's going to be very different from the evening show that other people are going to watch. There could have been a mistake that happened on that show that's not going to happen in the next show. And another thing is, yes, people have been putting out their bootlegs or their videos of the shows that they performed previous years. I'm crossing my fingers because I'd really, really like for any of the shows to be featured online too.
I know,
But
I'm looking for like I know they also released, was it Phantom, right?
I think there were a bunch, and I just also know that Hamilton is coming out on Disney Plus too,
I
like
heard,
in
yeah.
July. So
Mm.
there's really as much as this kind of content is being available to everyone right now, and that this is the new normal, I hope that once this is all over, and maybe a year or two from now, you guys are no longer afraid to approach the theater, and that you continue to support Philippine theater and keep watching these beautiful shows, because so many have been canceled, like moved to next year maybe, but like Anna in the Tropics, that was canceled, and Next to Normal, which was really devastating. My brother was in that, and I really wanted to watch it, but I was busy and I didn't have the time until suddenly the quarantine, and then nothing, right? So Rep has also moved Carousel and a bunch of other shows to next year. So there's still that lineup to look forward to, but no guarantee of people actually coming to the theater because of what this virus and this pandemic has done.
Yeah. I mean, to the viewers out there, please continue to support the whole Philippine art industry. I mean, actually, before the lockdown, I got 2 free ballet tickets. I just can't remember what show. Yeah. So I was so excited because being a ballerina, I still love watching ballet. So it's really sad. I was really looking forward to that, but things like this, it happens unexpectedly. So given that, what are your thoughts on the whole ECQ, MECQ, GCQ that's happening right now in our country?
Well, I mentioned a while ago that it's been like 76 days, right, for the Philippines right now. If you guys didn't know, Wuhan was also under quarantine and lockdown for 76 days as well. And once May 17th hits, it's going to be 77 days, way longer than Wuhan, where it actually originated. And why? It's because of mass testing. We do not have mass testing. And if the numbers say the numbers say everything. There's not enough people being able to be tested to see. And then I think I saw some tweets kanina where people found out that part of their 10 people in their frontliners actually had, because they were all asymptomatic, but they had no idea because they hadn't been tested. And yet we have modified ECQ. People are roaming around asymptomatic. No one knows if they're going to be affected, and then they will be producing symptoms. They will be affected. So until we see the numbers that Singapore, Taiwan, and all these other countries, Japan, South Korea, have been doing, then we won't be experiencing the same results. And in my opinion, as much as I want to go out there and start doing things again, if we don't do mass testing right now, what's the point of releasing this ECQ, this quarantine, if we're only going to be released into a world that hasn't obliterated COVID-19? So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately. I've been seeing a lot of posts more. It's more on mass testing right now compared to a month ago. Some of them were waiting for the ECQ to be lifted, and then now I think a lot of people are realizing that, okay, we do need mass testing here in the Philippines.
Yeah, and they promised us that they would start mass testing April 14th. It's May 16th. So it's been a month. There's still no news about it. And I'm just scared that we're all going to be left waiting in the dust and no action is actually going to happen. And only harm is going to be done to this country.
Yeah. I do hope, they actually push for that really soon. Our country really needs it. So we could hopefully move forward. But then again, we also have to, I think the word for today is adapt. We have to really, this is still the new normal, whether there's mass testing or there's, or not. Going out, wearing masks, wearing gloves, that's the new normal. Working from home and all that. So, yeah. But thank you Justine, for sharing your thoughts.
You're very
It was
welcome.
really, really nice
Welcome.
talking to you. I got to know more about you. So we are gonna go on break again, but do not leave just yet. We have one more guest for today. So we'll be right back after these few announcements.
Making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, South Manila. Para enjoy ang pakikinig sa V81 Radio kahit saan. We are now on your Amazon Echo devices. Just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio at i-enjoy ang inyong mga paboritong Pinoy music 24/7. Sabihin lang, Alexa, play V81 Radio. May items ka na gustong ibenta? Or planning to buy something specific? Visit PinoyAds.ph, a free online classified ads na available to all. Post an ad para sa item that you want to sell. Or browse through the listing to find out what you're looking for. Connect with the community to explore, discover, buy and sell. Be the boss of every transaction sa PinoyAds.ph. After this pandemic, let's support the Filipino community. Buy local, visit local, go local. Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kantang tatak Pinoy. Kahit nasan ka man, kami ay mapapakinggan. Streaming worldwide. The future of radio in Manila, California, and Hong Kong. This is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. Dahil mahal namin kayo. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.